So, Prince Andrew has dramatically and spectacularly and shockingly announced that he will give up royal titles amidst the Epstein scandal that doesn't seem to want to go away. The ever engulfing Epstein scandal has consumed Prince Andrew and has proven to be just a sinkhole for him. The ground just kept shifting and shifting, and it's trying to swallow him whole as a consequence of his relationship and proximity to Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier and billionaire turned, trafficker of young girls. And, Andrew himself was photographed with one of those young girls, Virginia Jeffrey, who committed suicide this summer. And he settled with her, of course, before she did that. And so it's been one big engulfing scandal to the next. And his mother famously stripped him of his military titles before she died, Queen Elizabeth. He being her favorite son, allegedly, it was supposedly very difficult for her to strip him of his military titles and certain honors, but she did that while leaving intact most of his privileges, his home at Royal Lodge, his royal title, the Duke of York. I think he was required to drop his Royal Highness, but keep his royal title, the Duke of York, and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who continues to live with him and presumably shag with him, she was also allowed to keep her title, the Duchess of York, all these years and throughout the Epstein scandal. And apparently she is on record as saying in an interview that she had renounced her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, etc., etc. And then it later came out that, in fact, post that interview, she had been in contact with Jeffrey Epstein as late as 2011 or something like that, telling him what a supreme friend he is to her and her family, how much she appreciates him, and so on as a friend. So basically, it seems like she had lied about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and that got her into a lot of trouble as well. And so the whole thing just blew up recently because some new emails came to light showing that Andrew had told Epstein that they were in it together and so on and so forth. Just a big mess. So then I heard that King Charles was thinking of stripping Andrew of his titles, but I sort of didn't even believe it. But within less than 24 hours of me reading that in People, Andrew himself announced that he will indeed give up his royal titles and other honors. He will no longer appear with the royal family because it's a big distraction for the entire family and for the king, the monarch, his brother, King Charles. He will not appear at Sandringham for Christmas. He will definitely not have any of his military titles. And Fergie will also give up her Duchess of York title. So the whole entire House of York has fallen. The only thing that is left is the house at Royal Lodge where they both live. And you have to believe that they negotiated with King Charles to keep that house in exchange for them voluntarily giving up their royal titles, so that in exchange for remaining at Royal Lodge, they would just basically give up everything else and disappear from public view. My hunch is that the ground is going to continue to shift under Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, and the hole is just going to keep opening up and swallowing them in, unfortunately. And I think they are going to have to give up Royal Lodge eventually, because I think the public will not let it rest. And the press as well. It seems like the press really went after Andrew and Sarah here towards the end, and published certain emails and so on that proved their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was more extensive than they were saying, that they were not being truthful and transparent in their representations and interviews and so on. And so I suspect the press is not going to just go away quietly. They can be like a Rottweiler with a bone in over there across the pond. And they will see to it that Andrew and Sarah are forced to leave Royal Lodge. That's my hunch. That's my belief. Andrew and Sarah will do anything to hang on to Royal Lodge. I don't know what is so sweet about Royal Lodge, but they seem to love it and they don't want to give it up. And it's the one thing that they love most of all, even more than their titles, I think. But I suspect that in the end, they are going to be engulfed by this and they will have to give up Royal Lodge as well. But I could be wrong. I mean, certainly if they give up Royal Lodge, there are other places like Frogmore Cottage where Harry and Meghan used to live, or even Adelaide Cottage, where Kate and William are leaving and moving to Forest Lodge, right? So these are smaller places than Royal Lodge. And so Andrew and Sarah will definitely have to downsize. And I don't think they're going to have a choice. I don't think they're going to have a choice. But so far, they seem to be holding on to it and have voluntarily relinquished their royal titles. You know what that's going to mean in the next couple of weeks or months with this royal titles, and where the British press, and certainly the Harry and Meghan hating corridor of the British press, where this whole conversation about royal titles will lead. Because if Andrew can be stripped and Sarah can be stripped,